You know, the funnier part about that entire thing, I thought it was gonna end with like the harmony, so that like actually took me for a loop. Hey guys, I know I usually have like a bunch of people here to help yell at me about video games, but I feel like a good chunk of them don't know much about the Tony Hawk series as much as I have. I have been playing this series for like a long time, like as long as I can remember. I think my first like earliest gaming memories was playing Marvel vs. Capcom, Final Fantasy 8, and watch my brothers play Trick Attack in in the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I don't want to be talking in silence here, so I have this brought up. So basically, like the major, and I know I normally would play like the actual songs and not like these pretty good 8-bit remixes of them for background music, but like we're trying not to, we're trying to keep this VOD alive to a little bit. I'm trying to post this on YouTube and not have to file like 17 different counterclaims and stuff. We're just chilling here though, guys. We're talking about the Tony Hawk games. I'm gonna rank them, and you guys are gonna watch. So I like how this is all in like a random order here. We got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. This was like the very start of like the underground series type of deal where you weren't able to walk off your board, like not yet, but like you had like the ridiculousness of the missions and stuff. I literally just woke up and just felt like doing a Tony Hawk list just because I'm that excited for the new game. So we're gonna start with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Yeah, like I think I was like, oh, Ranger Bob has to get knocked off that ledge, like, or whatever. Like it had it's like definitely started some of the ridiculous stunts you had to do. It like was almost getting to jackass levels of it. So to start things off, I'm gonna put it in good. We're gonna see what happens there. Eventually, I'm gonna have to move things back and forth. So we're gonna see how like that one's gonna go. Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. Okay, so like one of the biggest things. This is like one of the Tony Hawk games that like I didn't really get to play much of when I was younger, because at this point, like the Tony Hawk's series was falling off on me, but I still gave Proving Ground a decent try. It was pretty unique that you're able to like have like a build, like 3 different like archetypes and such. But like, why do you have to do? Well, like I don't know. It's like it's like I know one of them had to do with like Park Editor. Hold on a second. I'm thinking about just like looking it up for a hot second, just to see like what it was. But it was like the same thing as like, to a degree, like Project 8, not as like bad, but like oh, it was made by Vicarious Visions also. Yeah, don't know how I feel about that. There's like, yeah, they like increased upon like the nail the trick features and such. Like, it was a good idea, and I guess it's like, what do you do on top of all that? But it's like, I don't know, like, for me, it kind of did not feel too hot. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one like a hard pass, like a hard sloppy. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I know a lot of people really liked Wasteland in comparison to like the newer games and such, but like I just couldn't. I again just couldn't get it. I do say it's much better than a good chunk of the other games on this list, because like I'm starting to notice the the level up, like the baseline essentially. American Wasteland, not gonna lie, I'm saying it's a bit sloppy. Plot was like okay, I guess. Nothing too like spectacular. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 easily could be for most people like the best for a lot of people the best because it added the revert feature, which is basically you're able to basically when you think about it, in like the original Tony Hawk games, when you would go up a ramp, that was essentially your combo under. Like that was your like your power dunk to your jab jab. That was your your Shoryuken at the end of a light Akuma Light Tatsu. The reverb, like that, like going up a ramp in those two games, that was like, all right, I'm ending a combo with something big. And with Pro Skater 3, it added the revert, which basically lets you extend off that combo. That's like your OTG for like the anime fighters and the Marvel players out and about over in the chat room. Your combos just kept going. Essentially, it opened like a mind of possibilities, and yeah, it didn't help out in like Underground or whatever, like where you're able to get off your board. But it was a start. Like I remember playing Pro Skater 2, and then the revert was like a big thing. Just one button press, and your combo just kept going off of a half pipe or a quarter pipe. Like that was awesome to say the very least. Along with that, it had some of the greatest secret characters in any like Tony Hawk game, because it had Wolverine, Darth Maul. I feel like I'm missing like another big one, but just Wolverine and Darth Maul, to say the very least. I think that automatically like just kind of like super launches this into either good or god tier. I'm gonna put in good for now, and I'm get Pro Skater 4 away from there. Unfortunately, the biggest problem is I don't remember a good chunk of like the soundtrack from any games that aren't 1 and 2. So like, unfortunately, this is the part where I bring up a good chunk of like the songs, but no, I only really remember 1, 2, and like a little bit of Underground 2s. It's a shame too, because like I wish it was like I wish I could remember it. But we're gonna go right into Tony Hawk's Underground 1, the original. Possible unpopular opinion, but I think this is easily the best game in the entire series. Like, I don't know, it's like the story is just a lot better. Like, yeah, like everyone will still love like the goofiness, the jackass, the Viva La Bam storyline of Underground 2. I think it was actually based off of another season of Viva La Bam, but like, I don't know, man. Like Tony Hawk's Underground 1 was so cool for me, making your own board. That was like the biggest thing. There's like so much customization in the game. Like you're able to customize your own board at a certain point in the game. Like the story was freaking awesome. I remember wanting to punch Eric Sparrow, and then like and then like when you beat the game a second time, you actually just straight up just elbow the guy and then take the tape. You don't have to do the last goal. Man, I loved that game so much. So easily, Tony Hawk's Underground, it's going into God tier. All right, and this is where I immediately just do this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, trash. Actually fucking trash. I'm pretty sure this is not a hot take. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of people who fucking agree with me that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, awful. Literally, like, it was supposed to bring back. This game and Pro Skater 5, and I'll get to Pro Skater 5 when I get to fucking Pro Skater 5. I'm trying to have a good time here, guys. The biggest thing that I just hate about Pro Skater HD is that this was supposed to give hope for like remakes and stuff, test the waters per se, but you can't test the waters with a crappy game. Like, simply put, whatever Activision was thinking, whatever Robomoto was thinking, like, oh god, that, like, it was just horrible. Like, it was awful. Oh, man, like, I can't believe they got away with that. Like, I remember being really excited for that. I played it at a friend's house. I'm like, what is this? Is this supposed to be like Pro Skater? Is this supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like Underground? It's supposed to be Pro Skater? It's none of them. It's bad. It's awful. It's trash. Get it in there. It's fucking trash. All right, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. One it started it all. I think in comparison, like I think unfortunately with like the comparison of the other games, it's gonna be like the top of Sloppy, or the top of low tier, just because the fact that like it's like it did so much, but like it low key gets carried by Superman. Like I love Superman. Like that song and just like all of like the Real Big Fish songs, like just launched me into the ska fan that I am today. And I gotta listen to more ska. Like, man, I've been like listening to nothing but J rock and J pop, man. That's not good on my end. That's stupid, if you ask me. So I think I'm gonna put Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the original, top of Sloppy. Definitely gonna go back. I'm definitely gonna rank all of these games. Tony Hawk Shred Trash. sequel to Tony Hawk Ride, which is also trash. Just put that in there too. Yeah. Like, do you want me to elaborate? I think most people said it best, you know. Like, I feel like I'm like actually like surprised that like Tony Hawk Ride didn't like somehow like fuck up someone's ankle or something like while they were playing. For those of you guys who don't know, Tony Hawk's Shred and Ride is a game that relied on motion controls, and it used like a little like crappy plastic skateboard, and it did not work. Like I've seen pickup lines work better than that crappy piece of trash. So obviously give it a hard pass if you are a normal human being. Yeah, it is not good, to say the very least. It is pretty bad, if you ask me. I think the cool kids say it's fucking trash. So I'm glad that's in there too. Shred was the sequel. Ride is the original game, and I think like Shred like only sold like 10,000 copies in total, which is hilarious to say the very least. I think Tony Hawk was very pissed about that. But Tony Hawk's Project 8. I remember the physics engine in this game being really weird. And like some of the goals to get like the super duper like double checkmark the sick rating being really hard. And like this could just be like a fact of like my age, I guess. Cause like I fucking beat Thug, Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and Tony Hawk's Underground 2 on sick like multiple times when I was like 10 or 9. But like when I tried getting like the sick requirements, because there's no set difficulty level, and obviously they do make the levels harder as you play on sick difficulty and such. They do make it harder, so it's like is it just me? Like I was like 14 or 13 when I was playing Project 8. Was I just like did I just not be able to do it? Because like I don't know, but it was really hard getting the sick rankings. Along with that, like ranking up in that game was like really like hard to try and get number 1. I get it, you're supposed to be like the super duper best, but like I don't know. And along with that, the plot was out of like comparison to American Wasteland, and like American Wasteland, which I said was like a very watered down version of Underground. I think it was like you're supposed to be like spreading the word of this like magazine that your friend wants to make. I think that's like Skate 3. I think Skate 3 eventually used that as like one of their plots, but it didn't work for Skate American Wasteland, but it did work for Skate 3. With Project 8, it was just like, oh, you just want to be really good. Like there's no rivals, there's no overall bad guy. Like there's no one that gets in your way. It's just you against the world, and you kind of just start in like at the bottom. It's like that's really it. Like there was barely any personality into it. Like you had like other skaters and such, but that's really it. There was no guy to be like, hey, you suck, and you would like go against them. So it's like the game was kind of bland, like even more bland than like Wasteland and such. Like it was more bland than Wasteland. I think it's better than Proving Ground. Actually, no, Proving Ground at least had Eric Sparrow in it. Yeah, so it's bottom of sloppy. Easy. All right. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Man, this is actually, I think, my favorite soundtrack out of all of them. It's only like 10 songs and stuff, but like, I can like think of at least 3 songs off of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack. Let's see, Bad Religion, You. Oh my god, that song is like a low-key banger. Everyone knows Guerrilla Radio from Rage Against the Machine, and No Cigar. I forgot how that's. I know how that. I heard that. I was listening to that song like a little bit like a couple of days ago when Tony Hawk's remastered 1 and 2 came out. But yeah, like it like I love it. When Worlds Collide, like yeah, there's so many songs I remember from that. I just have like a playlist of like 8-bit songs. I'm gonna link this in the description for guys watching on YouTube and stuff. But it was really good. I think it's Kickblips. Yeah, Kickblips is really good. So like I am like just really excited for this. Oh my god. Is it? Nope, I misclicked. Oh my god, but there we go. There's a place when everyone can be happy. It's the most beautiful place in the whole fucking world. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, when it came to like gameplay updates and such, it actually introduced the manual, which was like, think of it like, it was even bigger for the fact that you were able to just extend a combo off of just like doing a grind or something, or just able to start a combo, a manual into like an aerial. We're able to just manual off of a ramp or off of a half pipe and do a trick from there and then land to another manual. It like made like it started like the ridiculous combos that like most people in the Tony Hawk's like Pro Skater franchise, like all the players and stuff that they know for. Obviously, personally, I think it's better than fucking Pro Skater 1. I'm putting it in good. And then we're moving to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, trash. Like, say what you will about Pro Skater HD, say what you will about Shred, say what you will about Ride, at least the game is on the disc. I don't have to download a 4.9 gigabyte drive. And the worst part is that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 without the patch is actually hazardous to your health. Like, I've seen like unpatched gameplay of that game. That game flashes its screen like it just doesn't function. Like, it flashes white every 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds. That's being nice. Every half a second. Like, it hurts. It actually hurts to look at that. To look at that game. It physically hurts to look at that game without the patch. It's one of the worst experiences. It's not a game. Like that's the thing. It's not a game. It's not complete. It's awful. So that's easily the worst Tony Hawk game on this list. Like, in fact, it could possibly be one of my worst games of all time. Like, I've played it for like 30 minutes. I downloaded the patch. That's all I can really say. I played it and like nothing worked. Nothing worked. They removed so much out of the charm of the Tony Hawk games. Create-A-Skater has actually been gutted like a fish. Like, you're not even able to like carry, like, you literally just can just snap on. You get the same amount of Create-A-Skater creativity from just taking your action figures, ripping off the heads, unscrewing the heads off of each one, then putting it on each other's bodies. That's literally the Create-A-Skater on that. Create-A-Park sucks. You can't even activate missions. You can't even like go into missions normally. You have to literally only go through them from the menu. You can't just walk up to someone, press circle, and be like, "Hey, give me a mission." Reverts don't work, so you know what 3 gave you was just thrown out the window. There's no double tap moves, which I think was like a thing implemented in 4, which was awesome. because like it gave it because like just like in like Smash or whatever, they have move stalings where if you constantly use the same grab, you start getting less points in that combo. So you have to start mixing it up with other moves, which so like you'd have the double tap trick. So you'd have a trick for all like all 8 directions you can go, like up diagonal, up all 4 diagonals, left, right, up, and down. And you get that. So there's 8 tricks to go off, but then you double tap the button. That's 16 tricks. So you never had to worry about staling moves. They removed that and they just made those special moves, which like I get in like Pro Skater 1 and 2, we didn't know like how ridiculous this game could be. So you'd actually have like actual like skating moves that are like signature maneuvers, like the 900 from Tony Hawk. I think someone else had the Christ Air, like the finger flip airwalk. Like these are some like signature maneuvers, but of course everyone remembers like the ridiculous moves like Don't Feed Phil, where your character literally grabs a sub and just eats it. Elbow smash, which is a grind where you literally just elbow drop. You give your skateboard the elbow, and it's hilarious, to say the very least. Let's see, you have the boomerang, which is a manual where you pick up and you throw your skateboard like a boomerang while you run. Like there are some ridiculous things, but no, so like you'd think like, oh man, there's so many creative things to use for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. No, they just chuck that. They just throw that out the window. Very far, very far, very far. Like no respect at all. Like Pro Skater HD was like, all right, this is pretty fucking bad. Can't get any worse from here, right? And then they made Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 like 4 years later. Like that was not a game. It's awful. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam though, this is like during the experimental phase. This is like during around the times of like Shred and Ride and HD. While there might be an inside joke involving this, I'm going to say it is fucking trash. I think it's probably the best game out of trash. And then, of course, we have Tony Hawk's Underground 2, which is easy god tier, just because like the story, literally facing off against Bam and Tony. One thing I guess like the game like I wish they could have had was like, they could have had like a sort of Team Sonic, Team Dark story mode where you got to play as either Bam play for Bam or Tony Hawk. But the problem, but like, cause like I know at one point in the game you do play for Team Bam, but you immediately go back anyway. So it's like, what was the point? What was the point of the whole thing? So, like, it was kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe in like another world, like they had that type of deal, but like, I guess they like kind of thought they were gonna go for more, because like I don't know, it definitely doesn't feel like it was the last one, but they pulled out all the stops, like all the ridiculous stunts and stuff. You had like guest skaters and such. Like for example, like there was like a guy who you like played on a go-kart. There was a kid in like a full body cast. Yeah, he had a full body cast on, and like he was like a dickwad to your character. It's also like pumped up with like the most skater slang ever. Like they say the word noob at that point. He like, do I want the Bam Margera voices himself? Everyone voices themselves, and they say, yeah, do I want the noob or do I want Paulie Wheels on Fire Rogers, or whatever his name was? And yeah. Like the fact that they say noob like instantly dates the game, but makes me love it nonetheless. They have like they do like a lot of like the ridiculous stunts and stuff. Like I remember like one of the goals was you have to change a you have to break off a bunch of signs on something to say owned, because it's 2006, 2007. It's got to be a thing. Underground, yeah, like Underground 2 introduced like the Nada spin and the graffiti tag, which was kind of cool, I guess. Which is kind of cool. Like, I like the idea of it. I feel like a lot of people were like in uproar about that, thinking it was going to cause cause kids to start like spray painting shit. And it's like, no, man, we're just here to fucking play video games and use moon gravity and stuff. Underground 2 does have Shrek also in the secret characters lineup. They also have a Call of Duty soldier because Activision was making Call of Duty. That's all I can really think of when it came to like the special characters. Tony Hawk's Underground 1, their special characters were Iron Man, Gene Simmons from Kiss, and the guy at the beginning of the guy in the beginning of the Neversoft logo that eats Eric Sparrow. It's pretty fucking metal. I don't remember who was the secret characters in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. It's I don't remember. I'm looking it up right now. This is gonna bug me because now we're gonna start ranking them. I'm gonna start from bottom to top, I guess, for now. But I'm gonna pull up the roster of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, see if there's any secret characters. All right, cool. I got a couple. All right, but let's see. Yeah, easily worst game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Tony Hawk's Ride and Shred. Honestly, those two could be interchangeable because I'm pretty sure they're the exact same fucking game. Literally, the most entertaining part about the Ride series, those two games, was that it gave me a really funny Brutal Moose video at the end of the day. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, bad, but tried. You can at least say they tried. Downhill Jam is actually, not bad, but, I would not say it's better than Tony Hawk's Project 8. Tony Hawk's Project 8. Game felt pretty generic, and even felt to the point that, even when I think about it, that was the 8th game, so they just named it Tony Hawk's Project 8. It was oddly realistic. It was oddly realistic, and they kind of just kept going with that whole spiel, and they wanted to be ridiculous, they wanted to be as ridiculous as the old games. At the same time, they just wanted to be realistic for whatever fucking reason. Do I think it's better than Proving Ground? I think I might take that back, actually. Yeah, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to switch that around. Proving Ground had a little bit of the customization options and stuff, but it was still at the same time pretty freaking weird. I think one of the biggest things that threw me off was this nail the trick thing, where basically you just do your own original trick and you have to land on it. They just kept expanding on it. And it was it kind of just slowed the game down. I kind of like the fast-paced nature of the Tony Hawk games. So I'm gonna have to kind of downgrade Tony Hawk's Proving Ground there, guys. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Okay, again, just felt like a very, very watered down Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2. I don't think they kind of knew what to do with the series at this point, because their magnum opus really was the Underground series, the Underground 1 and 2. But they could not get anything for the life of them. They could not get anything. They could not get the ball rolling once. They could not get the ball rolling again once that happened. They kind of dropped the ball with this one, and this was essentially the start of the decline of the Tony Hawk series, unfortunately. Well, more of a decline into a fucking spike with how bad fucking HD was. Like, Jesus. Pro Skater 1. All right, Pro Skater 1's pretty good. Like, I don't like, obviously, like, since this is like a tier list, you know, we have to make sure, like, there's like some sort of curve or something. Pro Skater is easily like the baseline. It's the start of everything. It's the start of everything. It's the start of, like, you know, the series, and it did have a lot of good bangers. I don't know if I don't know if it was getting to like the ridiculousness of the yeah, I think it was like trying to be like, it was like, I don't know what to do at this point, but like at the same time, it's like that's like the fun part. Like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, like I don't even know if they had like any like super duper like cool unlockables. Yeah, no, they had Officer Dick and Private Carrera, which are two like returning characters in the game. But you know, it's still pretty fun. Like, I wouldn't mind playing it. I'm like, I have a Dreamcast, and like I'm probably like right after this about to like just get a couple copies of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 and just play those for like the rest of the day. I like them. I wish that I hope they'd stay. I wish they'd, you know, I wish I could like rank them higher, but I gotta make them the baseline. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. This is where they start getting a bit more extreme with a good chunk of their stuff. Right after when this game was made, though, there was just so much more like content and stuff. Like, I remember going on like GameWinners.com and like looking up like different characters to make and such. And then when they had like then they had different characters. They had you know, they were the returning of Officer Dick and Private Carrera, and of course fucking Spider-Man. They had Spider-Man in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Like, that was like, you know, like, I was like, I think I was like 5 or something when we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and I was like, whoa, like, Spider-Man. Like, guys, check this out. Like, this is from like a while. This is from like years ago, man. But like, check this out.
Sense tingling.
Like, oh god. Like, this is gonna be in like really bad quality because it's a PS1 game, but like, still though, they got like a.
Keep moving, Spidey.
Like, they got a skater to frickin' to do.
Tony Hawk. Yeah, I skated with that guy.
Spider-Man! I asked for the police. Can I get this?
They got a frickin' skater to dress up in a Spider-Man costume. Like, who were these guys?
Spidey.
Yo, if Spider-Man could do the 900.
What a rush!
I've saved the part from good skating forever.
Oh my god. Like, man, like that brings back a lot of nostalgia for me there too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I think my nostalgia is gonna like speak for me here, but definitely putting Pro Skater 4 below Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Just from the fact that it, like, just for me, it has a more memorable soundtrack, and a more memorable soundtrack for me, and a much better and just Spider-Man, man. Dude, they got Spidey. They also have but yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, they did have Jango Fett. Like, Jango Fett was pretty cool, not gonna lie. But not really much to like push itself towards. It did have like the mission system and stuff. It was pretty good. They did introduce spine transferring also. But nothing I can really remember. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, like just blew my mind so much when I was a kid. Like that's when I was starting to also like get like good at video games. So I was able to do like a good chunk of like the careers and stuff. Like I wasn't just turning on free skate. I was able to like actually like accomplish a good chunk of these goals and stuff. The game, like, music was really good. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I think it had the Blitzkrieg Bop at one point. But, yeah, that's all I can really think about. And then we have, of course, the Underground series, which I've said too much about them already. Underground has the better story. Underground has like the better story. Underground 2 like has like the best when it comes to, like silliness and stuff. But I have to say though that like yeah, I just like the story more. I just like the fact that like you just start from this like no-name kid and like you're just trying to like you just like do like all these like ridiculous things just to make sure that you like become the best. And like nothing will like yeah, like you know, sticking it to BAM is always really cool, but nothing will ever beat McTwisting over a helicopter. Like that scared me when I was a kid. Like I was so scared to do the McTwist over a helicopter. Like that, like I remember actually like lowering the volume because like hearing the sound of like the helicopter blades. Like when you would mess up, like that scared me. Like that honestly scared me, and I still like have vivid memories of landing that trick. Man, like it just gets me so nostalgic, and I can't wait for the new game. I think it's coming out like in September. I am not sponsored by them in the slightest. I am just a very excited fan, and I cannot wait for the new game to come out. I pre-ordered the game already. Like, I don't even care if it comes with a pre-order bonus. I don't care if, like, Tony Hawk himself signs a skateboard for me. I don't care, man. I'm just ready for Tony Hawk to come back. Hopefully it's good, because I'm so scared after Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Vicarious Visions making it, which is the same company that made the Crash Insane reboot. They made Proving Ground, which is a bit of, like, an iffy, but, like, at the same time, you know, Proving Ground was functional. Proving Ground was fun at points. But they do have a bit of a title to uphold with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the way. I think, you know, like I like obviously I'll be doing a Is It Worth It video when it comes out. But until then though, guys, all we can do really is wait. We have 4 months to go before the new Tony Hawk game comes out. For those of you guys who don't know, they did say they're bringing back a good chunk of the soundtrack. Only like I think 6 songs aren't going to make it. But, like, the big songs are coming back. Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine. And Superman, of course, is coming back. Like, I'm excited for this game, guys. Like, I can't wait to share it with you guys. I can't wait to get demonetized when I eventually make a video on that. But with that said, though, guys, my name is Well Dressed Gem. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming again. This is, like, kind of just done on a whim. I'm probably going to get something to eat because I literally just rolled out of bed and brushed my hair a little bit and then just did this. With that said, though, guys, I'll catch you guys next time.